It started with a dentist, not a spreadsheet guy, not a finance bro. Just a guy with a bunch of forgotten subscriptions, a random $19 gym charge from a place he hadn't visited in 2 years, and a sinking feeling he might be losing hundreds of dollars a month without even realizing it. He downloaded one budgeting app just to take a look, and in 48 hours it found $347 in waste. Gone. Just like that. But what he didn't know is that he was using one of the worst finance apps in 2025. Not because it didn't work, but because it almost worked too well. And the best budgeting apps? They weren't the ones with the most features, they were the ones you'd actually want to keep using. To figure out which ones really help you save, we dove deep into the 17 best currently on the market. Some are free, some are sneaky, and one might change your entire relationship with money. But before we crown a winner, there's something you need to see first. Zero-based budgeting isn't new, but in 2025 it's taken on near-religious status. 2 apps lead this space, YNAB and Dave Ramsey's EveryDollar. For those that need a quick explainer, zero-based budgeting is a method where you allocate all your income to expenses, savings, and debt payments in a way that your total income minus your total expenses equals 0. It means you start each budgeting period, like a month, from scratch, justifying every expense rather than simply adjusting the previous period's budget. YNAB, or You Need a Budget, turns your money into a strategic mission. Every dollar you make gets assigned a job. Rent, groceries, savings, even guilt-free lattes, and it's powerful. You can track spending trends, plan months ahead, and sync up your whole household. But it's also a commitment. Setup is intense. You don't just use YNAB, you live in it. EveryDollar, on the other hand, takes the same budgeting idea but adds a layer of ideology. It integrates directly with Dave Ramsey's baby steps, encouraging people to ditch credit cards completely. If you like that philosophy, great. But for anyone who uses credit responsibly or wants automation, it can feel punishing. Plus, at $80 per year, EveryDollar offers fewer features than YNAB, despite costing nearly the same. And here's the twist. Neither of them is the most user-friendly option on this list. Because sometimes the best budgeting app isn't the most intense, it's the one that gets out of your way. We'll get to that one soon. Picture this. You move $200 from checking to savings. Immediately, your budget updates, you buy lunch, and your phone pings. Not to shame you, but to log the expense automatically. That's Copilot. Of all the apps we tested, Copilot was the smoothest ride. Setup takes minutes. Recurring transactions, learned and tracked, budget categories, fully customizable. It even scrubs your past transactions to clean things up. The interface is so clean it almost feels fun to use. You can drag and drop expenses into new categories, or create your own with colors, emojis, whatever fits your style. And Copilot remembers, so next time that same transaction pops up, it knows exactly where it belongs. But here's the catch. Copilot is only available on Apple devices, mobile, tablet, or desktop, and only in the US right now. No Android, no browser version. Yet, the price? $13 a month or $95 for the year, with a 1-month free trial if you want to test the waters. Pricey? Maybe. But if automation saves you an hour a week, it might be worth every cent. Then there's Monarch. Think of it as a financial cockpit. You get a bird's eye view of your money, budget, bills, net worth, even investments, all in one place. Monarch supports sharing with partners and advisors, but its $100 per year price tag might sting. And some banks, like American Express, don't always sync smoothly. No crypto support, no credit monitoring. Both Monarch and Copilot are powerhouses, but one is missing a major feature and the other might be too advanced for most people. Before we tell you which one earns the crown, let's look at the apps that don't try to do everything. You know how some apps try to do too much? Track investments, sync to your smartwatch, maybe even order you groceries? Wallet app isn't like that. It's simple. Manual input or bank link. color-coded categories, clean interface. Done. But the free version is limited, no recurring expenses unless you upgrade, and $22 a year feels steep for what it offers. Fleur is even more stripped down. It costs about $10 once, or free with limited features, and relies entirely on manual entry. That sounds like a downside, until you realize that entering every expense makes you feel the money leaving. Then there's Good Budget, envelope-style budgeting, with manual inputs and solid cross-device syncing. Envelope style is a method of managing your money by allocating specific amounts of cash to different spending categories and then limiting yourself to spending only the cash within each designated envelope. So, think of Good Budget as digital cash stuffing. Great for beginners and couples who want to share budgets without linking accounts. Simple, effective, low cost. But these aren't the most fun apps, and one app on this list manages to be both simple and a pleasure to use. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's talk about apps that should work, but don't. Rocket Money markets itself as a budgeting app, but its real goal is subscription cancellation. It's flashy, over-designed, and forces you to link a bank account before you can even explore. It's less a budgeting app and more a financial babysitter, without the warmth. Simplify, powered by Quicken, has all the branding, and none of the trust. No free trial, no sneak peek. Just a request for your credit card and email, and a handshake agreement you'll like what you get. Spoiler, most people don't. Then there's Pocket Guard. It wants to help you pay off debt, which is great. But unless you pay for the $75 per year premium version, you can't manually add expenses or create more than 2 budget categories. These apps often sound smart, but when it comes to real value, there's one that costs less and delivers more. And it's the one we're about to explore next. If budgeting apps were a high school talent show, these 3 would walk in late, borrow a guitar, and bring the house down. Buddy is clean, intuitive, and surprisingly powerful. It lets you manage budgets, subscriptions, and share with others. And the paid version, about $50 per year, is worth every penny. It just works. Weekly flips budgeting on its head. Instead of planning for the month, it gives you a weekly allowance based on your income and bills. It's perfect if you get paid irregularly or tend to overspend early in the month. Free to start, a small fee to upgrade. Then there's Spending Tracker. No gimmicks, no pressure. Just a minimalist dashboard where you input income and expenses and let the app do the math. You can upgrade for $2.99 if you want more features, but honestly, the free version is more than enough. Each of these apps fills a different niche, but only one app truly felt like a best friend. We're almost there. First, though, let's talk about apps that sound like budget tools, but might be doing something else entirely. Honeydew is for couples. It lets you split expenses, comment on purchases, and even hide transactions from your partner. Useful? Sure. But transparent budgeting? Not really. Dollarbird is more of a calendar app than a budget planner. It logs your expenses by date instead of category, which makes it great for tracking but weird for planning. Also, no bank links, fully manual. Monify and Money Manager round out the low frills club. Both offer decent basic features but don't stand out. They feel more like budget logs than planning tools. You track, but you don't necessarily improve. These apps might work if you have super specific needs, or if you just want to watch your money instead of manage it. But for people who want to take control, there's only one app that checked every box. Let's talk about it. We tested 17 apps. We explored the ones that require full control, the ones that automate everything, and the ones that try to sell you insurance halfway through your budget. Some were perfect for beginners, others for obsessive planners. A few barely qualified as budgeting tools at all. But here's the truth. The best budgeting app isn't the one with the most features. It's the one you'll actually use. If you want full control with powerful automation, Copilot is the top-tier experience, assuming you use Apple. If you want clarity, customization, and a wide-angle view of your finances, Monarch is worth the investment. If you're just starting out, Weekly, Buddy, and Spending Tracker give you the essentials without overwhelm. And if you're not saving at least $100 a month, the problem probably isn't the app. It's that you haven't started yet.